All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna build a new world or a new environment from scratch. Okay. So normally, in fact, actually, if you wanted to, you could switch your environment at any time. So right now, we're using, if I wanted to switch out of the Serenity Garden and, for instance, use, I don't know, Alpine Lodge, I'm going to hit select here. You can see how everything kind of changes. And then actually, it brings all the other stuff. So it brought my music, and although you probably can't see it, it should have brought in like the other elements. There it is. There's the bench and there's the lamppost there that I brought in myself and added to the world. So I'm going to build my own world. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Blender. And what I'm going to do is we're just going to build a very basic environment. Okay, so I'm going to add a plane and I'm just going to scale it up like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to subdivide this a bunch of times using the loop cut tool. I'm assuming hopefully you guys know what that does. The reason I'm doing this is so I can get some extra geometry to kind of play around. And I'm just gonna cut this a bunch of times. And the same thing goes this way. Just cut it a bunch of times. Okay. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to, I'm building like an environment. So I don't want the people to walk off the world. So what I'm gonna do is kind of set a boundary. And the easiest way to kind of do that is I'm just gonna kind of like take all of these faces. So I'm just going to kind of select the edges here. Oops, except let's select the faces and not the edges. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of extrude these up like that. And I don't know, I'm just going to pull up some other stuff. So keep in mind that your character can't jump. So if you want them to like move up or down, the only way for that to work is that there has to be like a ramp. Okay. So if you have like a floating item, they're not going to be able to get to it if there's not a ramp to it. So what I'm going to do is kind of like pull some of these up like this, kind of create like a little texture. And let's just say for the sake of argument, I'm going to build a little house. Okay. Actually, let me build a little environment here. So I'm going to, of course, this will probably not work, even though I did this before. Let's try that wood texture again. I'm going to set this to brown. This is like the color. Let's try the texture. I know it failed, but hey, I'm a glutton for punishment. So let's try one more time. Okay. So this was wood. So I don't know. Let's say this is the environment. Okay. And then I'm going to have like, I don't know, like a little red house. So I'm just going to, I'm going to add a cube. Okay. And I'm just going to make this red. And I'm just going to edit this cube. So here's that. Actually, I'm just going to like cut through this. Like, it's just going to be like a little tunnel. So let's actually just kind of like go all the way through it. Yeah. space. I'm just going to get rid of some of these. All right. All right, there's my very simple world. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. And let's go to, so it's packing the resources. Let's export this as a GLTF. Okay, and I'm just going to call this environment. I'll call it environment A. Once again, I'm going to go into here and make sure that this is on. Let's hit export. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is go back and we're going to go under inventory. We're going to go under the environments tab and I'm going to hit add. And I'm going to find my environment that I just built. And let's hit upload. Let's hope this time it works. And it looks like it did. And I'm going to hit plus. And then boom, there you go. Okay. So I'm in this world now, and everything that I brought in as an environment, you can see I have collision detection. So I can kind of like walk up and down these things here, you know. I can walk through my little house that I built real quick. So obviously I did mine really quickly. You could build something much more interesting than that, but that is my world. Okay. And there's collision detection. So anything that was considered an environment, you can't walk through. Items like the models that you bring in are not, I can't walk through these actually because this is a boundary point, but like if I were to bring this over, I don't think there's collision detection. Yeah, see how I can kind of clip that, but that won't happen for environments though. So if I wanted to, notice how I am doing that and like I can't, you know, I can kind of like I can't walk through the wall of that little house I built. Okay. All right. Now the last thing I'll show you guys is the second last thing is you can add a skybox or an environment around yourself. Okay. So what I'm going to do is go under 360 photos. You're going to have to get a 360 photo. That's not always easy. My suggestion is like a type in the word photosphere or 360 photosphere. Okay. And so let's try, I don't know, this one. Okay. Oops, what happened? Oops, I don't think actually I'm allowed to. Can I download this? Maybe. I'm gonna. I know how to do the. Well, all right. I'm gonna use a different site. Let's use Unsplash or Pexels. Let's type in photosphere. Okay. None of these are great, but these are sponsored. I don't want to do that. 360 photos. Okay, here's one. All right, here's a photosphere. It usually looks something like this. Okay. What is this? PX. All right. So I downloaded that image here. This works best if it's a photosphere. And then what I'm going to do is go here. And I'm going to go under where it says images. And I'm going to go under where it says 360 photo skyboxes. And you'll probably already have two default ones, but I'm going to add my own by hitting add. And I'm going to upload that photo that I just downloaded. All right. Give it a second. Okay. Gives it some name. I'm just going to call it like, I don't know, landscape or something like that. As such. Now what I'm going to do is hit plus. And when I do that, what you're going to notice is that there is this kind of sphere here. And if I touch it, what's going to happen is now I'm kind of in this world. Okay. Actually, I added the wrong one. I'm going to click back on that. Or you can go to this thing here that says closed sphere. I'm going to edit this. And let's actually remove that one. I think it's this one, actually. Yeah, that's the one. Same thing would happen if I was in regular mode. If I click it, it's going to go, and I'm looking at this image in 360 degrees. But the problem is you'll notice that my environment disappears, right? So I'm going to click on close sphere. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under frame. And I'm going to go under frame settings. And we're going to go assets in this frame. Or is it, sorry, is it scene? I apologize. I can never remember where this is. It's there's a special setting we have to set. Is it profile? It might be profile. Nope. Um, sorry, I used to know where this was. My frames. Okay. No, frame settings. General. Ah, here it is. Okay. It's under frame settings. You have to scroll down to where it says show environment when sphere opens and show assets when sphere opens. Okay. So what this does is it means that you can still add the environment, but it's not going to get rid of the rest of it. So if I click on it now, there you go. You can see now, there's my environment. Okay. And I think my audio is off. Here, let me leave the world. I'm gonna go back to home. Okay, here's my world. Connect. And there you go. Okay. And I can explore my world. I'd probably move this little house, but you get the idea. There's a bench. I'm gonna go to the top of this little tower. All right. I'm gonna turn off. Let me get out of this so we don't hear the music, but all right. So we use this online source to build a very basic interactive world. Okay. You could actually invite people to this world. Essentially what you would do, let me go back to it. Let's say you wanted to have other people join the world. What you would do is you would give them the URL. So if I copied this, you can see that when I paste it, it goes to a particular URL. And when that page loads, you'll be asked to open it up. So Joe student connect. So now actually there's two people going on causing that, but hopefully you get the idea. Okay. All right. And the next, I will talk about your homework for next week.